followed by a Karakia prayer. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Sadaqallahul azim. It says, O my Lord, expand my heart and make my affairs easy for me, and loose the knot from my tongue, so that every one of us can understand my words. From Surah Taha 25-28. Now, Karakia. Kia hora te marino, kia faka papa, ponamo te moana, hei huarahima tatoe te rangine, arohato, arohamai, tatoe, tato katoa, huiye, tai kiye. Kia ora everyone. It's almost 2 minutes to good afternoon. Thank you so much everyone for joining us this morning, this afternoon for this particular workshop. And it's a follow-up workshop, the previous workshop where we discuss what actually NCEA is and what are different components of NCEA and how learner can achieve NCEA, different levels of NCEA, level 1, level 2 and level 3. And today we will see, once we finish NCEA successfully, how would we move into the university. So today's workshop, today's discussion is actually designed over how to get into university after completing NCEA or another qualification which I will be talking about. These are few of my qualification experiences. I am not going into that detail. Many of you already know me. So these were the things which we discussed last time. We discussed about NCEA features, how to gain, what are credits, standards, and how do we gain all these things, what is the role of literacy and numeracy, and how to get endorsements, which we call them certificate endorsements and grade endorsement. And then we also discuss about internal qualification, internal examination as well as external examination, because when we achieve EA qualification, it sometimes based on sometimes all these we get to know how do we get into university. And there is a path which briefly that was, and obviously the main part is question and answer, and I'll request all of you as a like whenever you feel a concern, you can just raise your hand and ask me to answer your question, and that will actually make this workshop lively. So let's start with just few snapshots from the previous workshop. So we discussed from level 1 NCEA to level 2 and level 3 we need to achieve 60 credits, and those credits 60 at this particular and 10 plus 10 from literacy and numeracy, which are actually the mandatory requirement to achieve NCEA. And as you move from level 1 to level 2, you again get a chance to complete 60, which you take from. Similarly, when you move to level 3, you again need to get credits. Credits and 20 credits come from different levels. The concept of assessment and credit, and how do we achieve different credits passing through assessments. There are standards. Every standard has got many different credits, 8, 12 credits, and once you complete an assessment, you actually receive, and credits you receive in different, and is the benefit of achieving a credit with excellence, with merit, or just achieve. So there are different categories of how do you achieve something, how do you achieve a credit. With excellence, E, you achieve with merit, M, or you just achieve A. Or if you don't achieve, that's story. Look into what does these mean, especially with respect to university entrance. These are so one learner can achieve some qualification with excellence or with merit. It impacts credits. Also, there is another category of achievement which we call the certificate endorsement, and you receive certificate with excellence, certificate with merit, and they have meanings, different category of achievements, and all these things are actually impactful when you try to get into university. Sometimes learners don't feel that I have achieved something. What does it mean if I achieve with excellence, or if I achieve with merit, or if I only achieve? At that particular time, pass a course, it may not be important. However, when you go into university, all these things count, and universities usually count your qualification if it is with an excellence, or if it's with merit, or if it's with an achievement. You have to, point is, learner and you as a parent have to plan accordingly. If you need to get into a particular program of university, you need to keep things in your mind. You are achieving with excellence, you are achieving with merit. These few things which we discussed during the workshop, I'm not going into that detail. Here the story starts. Level 1, level 2, or when you pass through level 3, then you only can consider yourself to be eligible for a particular university or degree program. And what does it mean? You have achieved level 1 numeracy, level 2 literacy, 5 plus 5 credits, 10 credits, and then at level 3 42 credits, making it 60. So this is the minimum requirement actually to get into university in New Zealand. If you or your children are coming from NCEA qualification, then this is the minimum. On this slide, I am minimum eligibility. If one student does not have qualification, one of these components, no in New Zealand will consider in degree program. We will discuss further today how to get into a medicine, how to get into an engineering program, or commerce qualification, or financial degree, business degree. That's a different story. On this slide, I repeat, displayed the minimum baseline with having this. In New Zealand, no program make you eligible. This is the vocational pathway. We discussed this few things at level 10. If, for example, a learner or a student is not in university, then the best part is you leave school level 2 and into vocational pathways. And this is not the end of the world. I mean, by following vocational pathway, you can still excel, you can still success. There are different pathways, for example, industries, service industry, social community, technology. These 6 industries are available for you to move after level 3. So, some of the industries I just discussed. I'll come back to this slide, by the way, because it's really important to understand these few points. So here the university entrance story starts. To gain, have 2 pathways in New Zealand. Majority of the students come from NCEA, which we call National Certificate of Vocational Achievement. How it works: level 1 year 11, level 2 year 12, level 3 year 13. So if you have done level 1 11, level 2 year 12, level 3 13, only then you can be considered for a university program in New Zealand if you are from NCEA. There is another path which we call Cambridge. Usually we call it Cambridge, but this CAI Cambridge as and the fragments are IGCSE, International Graduate Certificate for Secondary Education, year 11. If you complete AS level, which is year 12, and then you move to A level year 13. So if you pass through Cambridge Assessment International Education, you can still compete with NCEA level 3 year 13. So at this point, both learners, either they are coming from NCEA or coming from Cambridge system. If they are at this point, they both compete each other to get into university. So university have some kind of criteria for both of these pathways. Many times I receive questions from my friends and family, and they have very different expectations from Cambridge and NCEA, but they have a different framework to pass through. However, as soon as you complete on one on the other, it's not that easy, by the way. There are many different components. But to example, level 1, level 3, year 13, IGCS year 11, AS level year 12, A level year 13. Both are standing on the doorstep of university. And then they need to follow the criteria of university. Every university has different criteria. I'll try to explain you a few things. So this is the basic understanding. And if you live in here, as I said just a few minutes ago, or if you live in here, you can have another pathway, which we call that. Do you remember what I just said? Vocational pathway. You have 6 industries available in New Zealand, which welcome you to professionally develop you, and you get their trainings and you excel in that university industries. So what university requires? A student must select subjects to allow them to university entrance. Level 3, for example, you have to have at least 14 credits in each of 3 approved subjects. Now there is a criteria which you actually need to understand. Even after, I mean, simple is that if you pass level 3, there is still few things which you need to understand. For example, at least 14 credits in each of 3 approved subjects. So this is really important to understand. I request parents to understand those 3 subjects. 14 credit is one thing and approved subjects is another. And from where those approved subjects come, they are related to the degree which you or your son or your daughter want to get into in the university. For example, if they want to go into English literature, then they need to have 3 different English papers. If they want to be in engineering, they need to have, for example, chemistry, physics, mathematics. If they want to be in medicine, then they need to have biology, chemistry, physics as 3 approved. So every degree qualification has a prerequisite of 3 approved subjects with 14 credit. Similarly, if you are coming from Cambridge system, then a student need to have a minimum grade D and 120 UCAS point. Now I'll try to explain few things about UCAS point. University College Admission System. This is a Cambridge system coming from UK, which helps you to calculate the points to get into the university, and every university provides you with a number of points. For example, Bachelor of Arts at University of Auckland requires 120 points, 120 UC point. And if you have transcript of your child with you can easily go to the website and calculate your points. That will make you, for example, if the degree requires 120 points, UCAS points, and you calculate your points are coming 135, means you are eligible for that program and you can apply. But if a degree program requires 280 UCAS point and your child is getting 180, then obviously you can even not eligible to apply. Then literacy, these 2 things are mandatory. You need to understand. Many times students see that they don't need to read or study English, Maori or mathematics. But as far as 2024 New Zealand university requirements are concerned, literacy numeracy credits are mandatory. Almost all 8 universities in New Zealand, they ask for, do you have 10 credits from literacy? Do you have 10 credits from numeracy? If you don't, you are not eligible for the university program. So not only these credits, level 3 or AS level, you also need to have literacy and numeracy. Literacy comes from English or Maori, including 5 credits in reading and 5 credits in writing, or at least E grade in AS English. So NCA, if you are NCA, you need to have 5 credits from reading, 5 credits from writing for English or Tereo Maori. Or if you are coming Cambridge, you need to have at least grade E with AS English. Numeracy at least 10 credits at level 1 or higher, or grade D in IGCS mathematics. If you remember, this is year 11 course, level 1 year 11 course. So numeracy credits come from first year, which is year 11 for NC level 1, for Cambridge IGCSE. So once you have all these credits with you, you can be considered yourself eligible for the degree program. So these are minimum criteria. The story is much more broader than that. So there is another summary for you to understand, another way of presenting same information. What is the minimum requirement? I repeat, 14 credits at level 3 in an approved subject, then 14 credits in another approved subject, then 14 credits in another approved subjects. You remember in the previous slide, I said 3 approved subjects. Here I am presenting in a different way, 3 approved subjects. 1, 2, 3. For example, if I want my son to be, he needs to have biology, chemistry, mathematics, physics. So these 3 will become approved subject for that particular program. If you want to be in business, then there will be different subjects, maybe business, finance, commerce, economics, whatever. So you need to have a clear idea of what subjects are required starting year 11. So this is a long journey. It's not that your son or your daughter finishes year 13 and you one day, one fine morning, you will decide, okay, you can go and join business. Okay, you go and join engineering. No, it doesn't work like this. You have to start thinking at the start of year 11 what your son or daughter wants to do in university. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Why? Because you have to have 3 approved subjects for credits each, or 3 AS level if it's coming from Cambridge system. And then 10 credits numeracy, 5 credits reading, 5 credits writing, or Cambridge literacy grade D in AS English, numeracy grade D in IGCSE mathematics, as I just mentioned. And this is what we call it UCAF criteria to calculate your points. Every program gives you an idea of how many points are required minimum. For example, I remember Bachelor of Nursing requires 280 points. What does it mean? You go to university website, you will see points, minimum requirement. University of Auckland asks you to provide 280 points if your son or daughter wants to be in Bachelor of Nursing. And 280 point you can calculate like this. If your son or daughter coming from Cambridge system. And now you see the difference between A plus, A, B, C, D and E. Although E is acceptable, however, if a student is achieving E or D throughout, you can see the difference between 60 to 20, 3 times. And obviously when you calculate all your subjects, points will be low if all the subjects are coming with E or D. That is the reason why we always feel happy when our children receive A or A plus. So that is the difference. At that time we don't feel, because we are not going into university next year. But as soon as we pass everything, we complete, then we come to know, oh, I am just 10 points short. And at that time, if you had a framework to work through, you could have achieved those 10 points. Example, the University of Auckland student will need English requirement 17 NCA credit level 2 or level 3 or D grade in either AS or A. So these are A12, A13. Similarly, NCA credits level 2, A12, level 3, A13 English. So they need, this is a specific criteria for University of Auckland which I have extracted from them for 2024. So if your son or daughter is planning to get into University of Auckland, they have minimum English criteria. Whatever program you are getting into, engineering, business, commerce, whatever. This is the minimum criteria for any bachelor degree program. 17 credits, level 2, 3 or at least D grade if it's coming from CIE. A student without these credits will need to include a specific paper in their first year. Now they have given you a chance. If you are very good in other subjects, then you can still get admission into university. However, a student will need to pass another English course at university first year. But it depends on if a space is available. If good students are already coming in, then obviously you will lose the chance. So these are two minimum academic English requirements for University of Auckland, and I'll suggest you can check for Auckland University of Technology, Otago University, Waikato University, Wellington University. There are 8 universities and all of them have different criteria. This is the minimum criteria from University of Auckland, as I said already. I have developed these slides for parents to check whether your children are achieving the minimum criteria or not. At the start of 2024, check yourself or your children if they have achieved level 1 10 credits mathematics or IGSE Maths grade D. Yes. Then check level 2 5 reading credits from English or Maori. Yes. Then check 5 credits level 2 writing credits from English or Maori. Yes. Fine. Or if it's coming from GCSE, you have to check the equivalent level accordingly. Then you can also check, this is check 2 for 3 approved subjects. So one check is for literacy numeracy, second check is for 3 approved subjects, 14 credits each. Subject 1, yes. Subject 2, 14 credit, yes. Subject 3, level 3, 14 credit, yes. If no, then you have to include at least 3 of this list approved courses, you will be in year 13. So there are alternate pathways. You have to keep in mind, they have to achieve 10 credits from literacy, 10 credits from numeracy level 2 or level 3 and 3 approved subjects, 14 credits each. That will make up to 60 credits and it will also make your child to be eligible to get into university. This is literacy numeracy check. You can keep this chart with you and it will help you to understand how the system works. So literacy, level 1, 10 level 1 credits. University entrance, 5 level 2 reading, 5 level 2 writing or AS English E grade or above. Now you need to include, there are different assessments. Some of the schools provides with you 5 assessments, sometimes they provide with you 10 assessments, every assessment has different credits. So by passing through those assessments, you need to calculate whether your son or daughter is achieving 10 required credits or not. And you can just fill in those gaps and you can understand, for example, if you need 10 credits and your son or daughter has achieved 8 credits, how many require more? 2. You will write 2 and whether they are enough. Not. You can have more, you can have 12, you can have 14, there is no harm, but minimum is 10, otherwise university will not entertain your application. Similarly, for numeracy, you have to have again 10 level 1 numeracy from approved standard, 10 level 1 from approved standard or IGCSE grade D or above. many you have achieved? Write it here. How many do you need? How many available? Every school is different. As I said many times, you need to check with your school how many assessment they are providing and in how many assessment you can compete to achieve credits. And you have to very carefully calculate the required number of credits and the available credits for that particular year. Otherwise, you will finish your studies without achieving minimum required credits. And always parents to check with the teacher, mathematics and English, because those are the two teachers who assign those assessments throughout the year. So if you, for example, need to achieve 8 more credits and they are only allowing you to sit into 6 credit assessment, even if you pass all the assessment, you won't be able to achieve all 8 credits. So you need to talk to them. You need to talk to them and you need to inform that my child needs 8 credits. So please provide assessment so that he or she can achieve 8 credits. I hope. They provide with you, for example, if there are 100 seats, 80 seats are for those students who are coming from high schools, MBA or Cambridge, and 20 seats are for their own intermediate program. This is another option. If you did not get a chance to get into university program, what you can do, you can get admission into intermediate program. And you can always check with the university whether there is an intermediate program is available or not. Foundation program, call them. For example, your son or daughter wants to be in Bachelor of Business and Commerce, and competition is really high and your son or daughter does not get admission. What you can do, you can check with, is there a foundation course available for Business and Commerce? If yes, I would suggest go and get admission in that. Because after 1 year, after passing that course, you will be having a great chance to get into bachelor. So it, at the cost of 1 year, you can get into the bachelor degree program again next year. These are what we call them Other universities, including University of Auckland, will use the quality of student achievement NCA level 3 or level to select students. So it's not only you meet the minimum criteria, you need to have very achievement record. What does it mean? Applicant should present 5 subjects from the approved list. Now this is a different thing. Up to now I was talking about 3 subjects. Now they are looking into 5 subjects. What does it mean? More is better. Criteria, they look for 5 subjects. For example, for medicine, 3 approved subjects are biology, chemistry, physics. But when it comes to restricted entry criteria, they look for 2 more subjects, which could be mathematics, English, or mathematics, calculus, or mathematics, geometry, or something like that. And they can provide with subjects. And then they see what your son or daughter has achieved at level 3, year 13. The last year at the high school. These level 3 credits may be gained in no more than 2 consecutive years. Also, it's not that you do one subject this year, then another subject next year, then another subject next year. No, they only see 2 consecutive years. For example, if you are trying to get admission in 2024, they would like to see those subjects during 2023 and 2022. If you have achieved something 2021, they won't consider. Consecutive, 2 consecutive years, 5 approved subjects. Second will be assigned a rank order. They rank you based on level of achievement, your quality of achievement. Here comes, you remember, when I started with, here comes the concept of achieve with excellence, achieve with merit, achieved. And they, all these three are different. Of achievement, achievement with excellence, achievement with merit, achievement with nothing. Similarly, they check AS or A level syllabus. Different degrees also require certain subjects. It can only be by the university whether they require a particular subject as a prerequisite or not. Let's talk about university and criteria. All applicants will be ranked according to their best 80 credits. So, if I say to achieve NCA level 3 80 credits are required, you need to try to achieve more than 80 credits, maybe 100, 120. Why? Because they calculate your ranking, they rank you on the basis of best 80 credits. So, always try to achieve more than 80, so that at the end when you try to get into university, the A12 may be counted towards the best for ranking purpose. So, they always select best results, and from those best results come, as I said, excellence, merits. Always try point. Student always need to try to achieve different courses, different assessments, different credits with excellence, because if you only achieve, you get 2 points. If you achieve with merit, you have 3 points. And if you achieve with excellence, and on these basis, universities rank you. What is the difference? You and your friend credits with excellence. How many points you will have? 80 credits with achieve 80 times 2, 160. But your friend who was studying with you, automatically he or she will have 80. So, if you and friend will try to get into university, who university will attain? Simple. With qualification. Now, you need to understand, with equal qualification, with equal subject, I 5 points, and points come from excellence and merits. So, by following points up to 20 credits, up to credits, they will see these in each approved subject taken at level 3. The maximum score is 20. Calculate obviously very hard in 3 subjects up to 24 credits. So, they only calculate 24 credits out of 80, and they only calculate up to 320. If you are really brilliant student, if you have been giving all the credits with excellence, then only you have 320. If you are that kind of a student, you can easily get into university. So, again, point is, when you start, you have to plan. It's not the last day. So, this is an example how do you calculate. For example, 5 subject English, history, physics, calculus, stats. 6 subjects, but as I said, they and they calculate like this. If excellence and achieved, so your score will be 6 times 4, 3, 12 times 2, 66. History 52, and total score will be 230. Why here is nil? And considering 5 best. So this was the least number of achievement. They don't consider this, and they stop counting it here, and the total becomes 36. So in this way, university calculates your points, and then when you try to get admission in a particular program, you come to know how many points they require. Every degree program has different point system. You can at home you can calculate. It's really fair and transparent system. You can easily calculate how many points your son or your daughter has got, and should you apply for a particular program or not. You don't need to waste your time applying for a program where your son or daughter is not eligible. To calculate for CAIE for Cambridge, an example is given there. Rank score is calculated from a score table point by awarding following point in each syllabus group to a maximum of 6 subject units. So for A plus 140 point, for A 120, B 100, C 80, 60, 40, and for AS level 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. So if your son has got 6 subjects at A level with C, so you can easily calculate. Or if he has 1A, 1B, 1C times 2 up to 6 subject units, you can again calculate. For CAIE, the maximum score is 420 because they have got different point system. So NCA point system is different. NCA point system comes from excellence, merit, achieved, and Cambridge point system comes from A plus, A, B, C, D, 6 different categories. This is an example. Chemistry, maths, physics, English, biology. 100, 100, 50, 40, no point here because of only 4 subject units. This way you can easily calculate. Now there is another thing. Point system is one thing. There is another factor, there is another important point that you need to keep in your mind, which we call them subject pathways. It's not that you achieve subject and you achieve some credits and you achieve some points and you get into university. No. You also need to understand which subject you are studying at year 11 and what you will do in year 12 and then in year 13. It's not that every subject will lead you to every subject. No. For example, in commerce department, I have taken this a prominent school in Auckland. If you take year 11 accounts, it will lead you to accounting year 12 and accounting year 13. And it can also take you to business studies year 12 and it can also take you to business studies in year 13. If you have taken commerce in year 11 and you want to take accounting in year 12, there is no pathway. Do you understand that? So if you are planning to have accounting in year 12, you need to have accounting in year 11 too. It does not work. You see, commerce is easy, let's get into commerce, year 11. Then you realize, oh, accounting is important, let's go to accounting in year 12. No. See? No. So very carefully you need to select subject in here. What do you want to do in year 12? There are pathways. And these pathways, from where you get this information? From your son or your daughter's school. Yes. Every school has different pathways. So it's not that easy. That is the reason why you need to be in touch with your subject teacher. For example, if your son or daughter is interested in commerce, you need to be in touch with commerce department. And they will tell you, what do you want to do here? What do you want to do here? You need to start here. 3 years planning. For example, many students come to me and say, I have taken economics, Now I want to do mathematics year 12, no way. If you have done applied maths in here, year 11, and now you want to do statistics, year 12, no pathway. If you had to have stats at year 12, you need to start here. Only then you get into year 12 stats and then year 13 stats. So these pathways you need to clearly understand. I repeat, it's not only point and credits, it's about from where credits are coming, what subjects you need to have. So what degree program, you need to go reverse, in reverse direction. You need to try to understand what degree program your child want to do in university. Go back year 13, go back year 12 and then select something in year 11. Then only you can move forward. Otherwise, it's always difficult. See, in this case, in this particular example, if you have taken applied maths year 11 and you want to do statistics year 12, you cannot do. You can only move in this direction. All these things, I repeat, you need to get in touch with your school's, your son or daughter's school's teacher. They can only explain these things to you, because these are not universal. These are not universally accepted throughout. Every school has different pathways. Every school has different subject offers. Every school has different teachers available. So keeping in your mind all these factors, you have to plan accordingly. Science, very famous. I have given you, if you want to do these subjects in year 12, you need to have science in here, and then accordingly year 13. If you have taken science in here, year 11, you can do many things in year 12. But for example, if my son has taken science in here and all his friends are moving into horticulture year 12, and because all his friends are going into horticulture, he will go to horticulture without knowing that he needs to have physics or chemistry in here. It happens. So you need to be very careful what she needs to do in here, because if he moves to horticulture, then you cannot come back to chemistry or physics. Similarly, biology. So you need to understand what pathway is available. Before I finish today, a snapshot from University of Auckland. So this is what I was talking about. These points you need to achieve if you are coming from NCA, if you are coming from Cambridge. And see, they are different. Many times children and their parents don't understand that Cambridge system requires more points. So it's not that easy. University, my experience is, I have been working with university for last 8 years now. My experience is NCEA is slightly easier than Cambridge to get into university. And as I mentioned just a few slides ago, that when you finish year 13, either by NCEA or either by Cambridge, you both are same.
What about the quality wise?
Quality wise, qualification wise.
I mean the
point system is different.
for the student itself, like if someone completed the Cambridge, like they are smarter or just
Cambridge system has got difficult competition. A student who come from Cambridge system, he needs to be more competent as compared to, because there are more chances to achieve these points as compared to that. You see, in every qualification they ask for more. And if you remember, in Cambridge system there are 6 categories: A plus A, B, C, D, E, and all has different points to make your rank score. But NCA has got only 3: achieved, merit, excellence. So with my experience, if you just go, I mean, I suggest you go home and calculate for your son or daughter yourself, and you will come to know achieving some credits with excellence merit makes the rank score high, or achieving A's or A, B, C, D in Cambridge is easier. So my experience is from NCA it's slightly easier to get into university. Some of the examples are given. Famous programs you see, Bachelor of Nursing 230 with these 3 subjects, and for them 280 with these 3. Then Bachelor of Health Science 250, 300, Engineering 260 with Calculus Physics, 310 with Maths Physics, and so on. You can just go and university website. One more thing before I move forward. So, if you look into this, there are no more pathways available for IGCSE students. This is another deficiency, I would say. If you do NCEA, in year 11 you take science, and then you can move into biology, chemistry, physics, all 3 science subjects, mathematics also. But in Cambridge, you take biology, you go into biology. You take physics, you go into physics. You take chemistry. Point, you need to have 3 different subjects, 3 different complete subjects in year 11. However, in NCEA, we had science, which will get you a chance to move into any direction. More options, easy curriculum, easy to get good points, and in the end, easy to compete. This is my perception. You can have your own opinion and you can do your own research. So, this is current criteria from University of Auckland, and there is some more criteria for further qualification. Some special qualification has got point system as well as further requirements. For example, for Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, student first need to complete 1 year in Bachelor of Health Science or Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science. For Bachelor of Pharmacy, student need to complete 1 year in both these subjects. Bachelor of Optometry, student need to complete this qualification. Bachelor of Medical Imaging, they need to complete required 1 year course in Bachelor of Science. So, these are degree programs which are highly specialized. So, it is not that you just complete Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Biomedical Science and you will get into Bachelor of Medicine or Bachelor of Surgery. No. First, you need to study 1 year in Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Health Science if you want to get into Bachelor of Medicine or Bachelor of Surgery. Last but not the least, authentic, valid information comes from university itself. This is the last and the most important information. Don't call your friends or family members whose children are studying in a university. Can you please guide me how to take admission in the university, and they start guiding you. No one can sure what university criteria is currently. So, I will suggest you every information comes from university website. I have taken all this information which I showed you from University of Auckland website. So, you can do that. Don't ask questions from here and there. Just go and check university website. Every university has got different criteria, and every year they change entry criteria. So, if your friend's daughter is studying at University of Auckland for last 2 years, they had a different criteria in 2021. In 2024, they will have very different criteria. So, don't learn from their experience. Their experience of getting admission into university will be very different. Point is that to understand. So, always get into university website to understand situation what is happening at the moment. Thank you so much. Indonesian Islamic Center, in the end I would like to acknowledge your efforts to provide this opportunity to discuss this very important component of your children's life. Also, I am thankful to NZQA because many of the information I receive from NZQA and Ministry of Education obviously, and all the universities I have collected some information during this workshop. If still you want to connect with me, some of the information, contact details are given there, and Rahman can also provide some information if you need to. And in the end, if you have any questions, you can ask and I will be happy to answer.
Just curious, you said that to entrance university they have a minimum credits or 10 credits for literacy, numeracy. Let's say in level 1, the child only got 8 credits. Can he still go to level 2, or and in level 2 and level 3 he passed this literacy 14 credits? Will the university still look at the level 1, or they will look at level 3?
For literacy, numeracy, the basic criteria, the baseline criteria is to achieve at least 10 credits at level 1 or higher. What does it mean? It's a multi-level study. If you remember, you attended the last NCA session. It's a multi-level study, and it is negotiated between you and a school and your teacher. So if someone has achieved 8 credits at level 1, he will further need 2 credits more, isn't it? So those 2 credits he or she can achieve level 2, or while studying in year 12, level 2, he can achieve those 2 credits from level 1 if available. So it depends on the school and the teacher. If they offer your son or child to get into those assessments for 2 more credits, they can do. So even if you are studying at level 3, you can do some assessments from level 1 if available. And I will suggest you, if 10 credits are required, there is no harm in achieving more. Go for 12 credits, go for 14 credits, because if you achieve with excellence or with merit, it will improve your rank score in the end. So always suggest, because some of the kids are really good in English. On the other hand, some of the kids are really good in mathematics. So I'll suggest them go and take more credits in maths, numeracy. What will happen if a child is very good in mathematics? There is very likely chances that he or she will get good grades, excellence. So excellence will improve rank score in the end. Make sense? So answering to your question, at any level you can come back and achieve more credit from previous level, provided classroom is available, teacher is available, and school is happy to give you assessments. So it's always negotiated.
So if not, you have to score like better
in another level, yes, because requirement is level 1 or higher. So you can achieve level 2, you can achieve level 3, but that will also improve difficulty in the subject. So that's why, because level 1 is the criteria, so many of the students, they like to achieve something from level 1. Any more questions? Is there anyone who is getting into university this year? I don't think so.
We have year 10, year 12, year 11, and year 11.
Year 11 and year 10, in my experience, are more critical. Year 12, majority of the students have already decided what they are doing, because you cannot go back. Year 11, year 10 and year 11 are the critical phases. Yes, because when you finish year 10, you are studying year 10, so during this time you decide what you do. What you do not in year 11, not in 12, what you do at the end of year 13. You need to decide now, today. Otherwise it will be difficult. You will have limited options then. I hope you have decided already. Good.
Last night we decided.
Yeah.
Long discussion and negotiation.
Yeah, it's really important. And I show that slide again, which I miss in between, and it's really important. This one. This is really important, because sometimes, you know, as parents, we want our kids to do something which they don't like. So you have to negotiate, and you have to come to a common ground. Only then this system works. This is very beautiful system, but it requires some efforts from all stakeholders: parents, children, teachers, school, home, and learning atmosphere, all. Any other question, guys?
Just quick information, we will be providing free tutorial. So if any of your daughter or son would like to register, please go and see Lina during lunchtime. So register your name, email address, and mobile number, and we will give you information, free tutorial, any subject that your daughter or son is interested.
That's great. Good option. I think Furqan brother needs to leave quickly. They have another program, then they have another program.
Have some pizza first.
Thank you so much everyone and all the best.